Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back into my YouTube channel. It's been raining a lot. It's been a pretty wet spring, everything's really high. And we're supposed to get 100% chance of rain tonight. It rained a little bit last night. It's supposed to rain again tonight. But I'm headed out to the lake just so I can get some fishing in just in front of this front. The rain, the real hard rain, is forecasted to come in like at 1 o'clock this afternoon. It is currently like 8 o'clock. I'm not driving very far. I'm gonna just try a couple things, just get out there and see what techniques are working. Kind of do just a quick video, a little pre-frontal, so that hopefully we get a lot of bites, or we get some bites. I've got some different baits tied on. I've got a frog. I've got that KVD 2.5 wake bait that I really like. Brand new bait from Strike King. Got a swim jig. Got a thunder cricket. Flipping rod, and yeah, that's right, a spinning rod. Hoping I could catch a few on a technique that's been getting a lot of press this year with BPT over on Lake Fork. You know, it used to be called a floating worm, which really doesn't float, but you work it in such a manner where you don't let it go to the bottom. So it's kind of floating or it's high in the water column. Kind of hoping to catch a few fish on that. That'd be fun. Hopefully they're biting. Probably need to be off the water by about 1 o'clock. It's supposed to get real thick and green and maybe some even orange in some areas. So on the radar, so it's probably going to really start to pour, probably lightning and thunder. I don't want any part of that. So we're going to make it a real quick run here. Just try to break down this lake just as quickly as we can, get an understanding of what the fish are doing, and possibly get on a little pattern. Just try to break down in a half a day here. I bet there's fish doing just a little bit of everything right now. Wind out of the east, say 5 to 7. Here we go. I'm on my second spot and have not had the first bite. Actually, I had a little bluegill or a little small bass try to eat my stuff right beside the boat. Other than that, I haven't had a bite yet. I've kind of moved into some dirty water here, a little flatter banks, kind of out of that wind. There was a little bit of that, supposed to be east wind, but it looks like it's already changed and come out of the north. So the beginnings of this front might already be here. Great little spot back there. I've been fishing, been looking like some really good looking water. Took a little flat pocket in here. It's got a little bit of bank grass and looks like some vine. We just passed those reeds over there. Really feel like we should get a bite in here. I don't know if it's a deal where I just need to slow down. Again, just trying to break down this lake because, you know, it's funny, I don't get to fish in the spring very much around home. Most of the time I'm kind of out of town and fishing the tour, and so I don't fish around, you know, some of these lakes around here, some of these East Texas lakes. I don't get to fish them very much, so this is kind of a treat for me. It's a cool thing about that float worm is you can skip it pretty good. Little swim jig. I've got this black and blue one tied on. May need more of a green pumpkin colored one. I love to catch them on a swim jig. I hope they bite this. That would be a lot of fun. And I really feel like I should get bit in here. Water comes in, depth comes in a little closer to the bank here. Got some cover along the bank. May have to slow down and throw an ocho. Sometimes the only way to catch them this time of year is to really slow down and just fish a weightless ocho. Like to just feel like this time of year where you get a little prefrontal action going on, where you're ahead of the front like this, you feel like you'd be able to catch them on moving baits. But sometimes the only way to catch them, especially if the lakes have been getting a lot of pressure, it's the springtime, everyone's hit the lakes, sometimes the only way to catch them is to slow way down. We'll let them tell us though. Yeah, in a lot of instances this time of year, you get around an area where it's a very specific little area where the fish are using. And I mean, there's times when it's lake wide, but a lot of times it's in a very specific little stretch. So you got to try to move around and find them. And the only way to do that is with moving style baits, especially since I am, you know, trying to get ahead of this rain, because once the rain gets here, I won't be able to film. And trying to stay ahead of this front here that's coming. And so covering water to try to find that little sweet section on this little lake, even though it's smaller, can be a little bit more challenging, especially if the fish don't want a fast moving presentation. I could basically what we call fish right over them, or fish right through the area where the fish are and not know it, because if you're just fishing, you know, faster moving presentations, a lot of times they won't respond to them. Hoping that's not the situation. You're hoping that you'll just kind of fish through an area and get ones that just kind of respond, let me know that they're there, and tell on the group, so to speak. Real flat section here. That's why I thought a wake bait would be the ideal choice, which is in theory the place you want to throw a wake bait. Not a lot going on here. Slow down and flip a little bit. Yes, look at that one. Way up shallow. Had to get right back underneath behind that growth. Got him on the Rodent, Strike King Rodent. Nice fish. Yeah, chunker. Looks like, I mean, if I was to guess, that fish just got there. Nice. Very light bite. So that kind of gives me an idea. Man, I'm thinking that was a fish on a bed, but that gives me an idea kind of what they're doing. It may not be a deal that's lake wide, but as small as this lake is, I'm gonna bet it is. I'm gonna pitch back in there and just see if there's maybe a female with it. Got a little overzealous there. It didn't take much. I mean, it hit the bottom and he was on it, like right now, white on rice type action. There's another one. Oh, yes. All right. We're on a section right here. Look at this one. Pitched up there real shallow in those reeds. Fish was on it, and look how thick they are. I mean, I'm thinking those fish are just getting here. Wow. I should actually maybe drop my poles, maybe put a couple in live well for some picture fish. All right, that's exciting. Got some trash that I picked up on the lake the other day. All right. Well, that was boom, boom. Just one right underneath there and then one right there. Didn't feel either bite. I just saw my line swimming off. I was kind of playing with the camera, and this one came out of here. Just I flipped in there and he swam out of here and got him. Okay. So it is a deal where it sure seems like they want me to be slowing down. I mean, I'm wanting to throw swim jigs and bladed jigs and wake baits and those types of things, but I'm thinking they're not as receptive to that type of presentation, so maybe I've got to stay on these Strike King rodents. That's that one called Double Header. Green pumpkin one side, watermelon red on the other. Got it on a Strike King tour grade tungsten weight, 25-pound test fluorocarbon line, 50-pound test braid. Got a junction knot with a FG knot. I like that watermelon red on the top. Kind of looks like the darker back of something living and swimming in the water. Sweet little setup here. This is a honey of a reel. Team Lou's Pro TI, and then the Team Lou's Custom Pro Speed Stick. I really like this particular rod. It's a 7'4" heavy Magnum Pitchin stick. Again, 50-pound braid with a 25-pound test fluorocarbon leader, 1/4 ounce Strike King tour grade tungsten weight, pegged. Strike King rodent, and then on the very business end there, I've got that Owner Jungle flipping hook 4/0 in that silky gray finish. All right, let's see if there's some more in here. That's pretty exciting. Just bam, bam. I mean, right now they were biting. Gotta think there's some more in here. I mean, those look like pre-spawners to me. Maybe get another one, maybe get a little picture fish action later on. It's been kind of raining, and I wasn't sure if we'd be able to get any video of today, just because it started to rain there, and so I had to go put on my Cabela's guide wear and had to cover the cameras up or put them out of the rain. So just those two fish. I wonder if I maybe should double back and flip some of that other. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. That looks good too. Of course, it's really positioned where the wind blows right into it. For pre-spawners, that could be okay, but if they're trying to set up to spawn, they may not like that wind blowing straight in there. Not exactly sure if they want to be in this vine. Those fish were more related to the reed. There was some vine, but they were more related to the reeds. It does look like it's a reed bite, just based on what I'm seeing right now. Oh, golly! Oh. Got me. We for sure missed one because I actually had him hooked for a second. That one, I don't know if he actually counts as a missed fish because I never hooked him. He got my bait. I think he just had the back end of my rodent clean me out. Kidding me right now. Had one flash on it right over there. There he is. Oh, golly. Oh, there must be biting so weird. I don't know how I missed that one. Huh. Again, there was no bite. It was just right there. Like, as soon as it went in, he had it. Super shallow.
that one came off the dock. Started swimming off with it. Smaller guy, but he's peeing, so that must mean he's kind of protecting the bed or just excited about being springtime. It's been somewhat sporadic in the location of fish. You cover a lot of water and then boom. And they definitely seem to be, I don't know if not even grouped up, but they definitely seem to be spread out across a large area. And not quite sure why that is, and they seem to be biting funny. Basically, I've had 6 bites, which isn't bad for the short amount of time I've been fishing, but I've caught 3 and then I've lost 3. I don't know that I really did anything wrong with the 3 that came off. They just seem to be biting funny. It's been kind of an interesting day. I don't know how much longer we'll be out here, just because it's sure starting to look like it's starting to get dark, and I'm thinking that rain is going to be here, and I've heard thunder twice now. Could be here any second. And I don't mind fishing in the rain, but I won't be able to get any video of it. Well, as much as I want to continue to fish, it's looking like I might be forced to get off the water. Well, like it or not, I've got to turn it in. I don't do lightning, and I did see that one lightning strike, so... Oh golly, I got one! Look at that! On the bladed jig. Man, these fish look all pre-spawned. Great way to end the day right there on the Strike King Thunder Cricket with a Menace grub on the back. It's starting to come down and rain, and there's light. I've seen lightning. I think we're just going to end the day like that. I was pulling away from that dock trying to get going. That's it for the day. It's been a good day just for how short I've been out here. Catch 4 bass. Had 3 other bites. Would have had 7 bites. So they're definitely biting. It's, you know, pre-frontal. They're trying to get a little feed bag on, but I'm gonna have to cover it up.